So I want to talk about self-comparison, the trap of self-comparison, and give some love to this process that can definitely happen so fast. We get all the way tangled up in it before we even recognize what we've done. And so I want to just take a second and unravel it into its pieces, because I think there is a thread of love within it. And you just go with me here. So I think, and this is kind of a hypothesis that I'm just going to toss it out there. I think when we compare ourselves to someone, and we usually wake up around the time when we're feeling judgment towards ourselves, like, I wish I was more like their talent. I wish, I did more of what they're doing and not so much of what I'm doing. Like we compare ourselves, and usually, I won't say usually, Brene Brown has a whole chapter in Atlas of the Heart about where we go when we compare with others, and there are other options. It doesn't have to be a negative thing, and that's kind of where I'm coming from with, I think, even if it feels negative, like you're judging yourself or you're beating up on yourself, there's such admiration for the other person in order for you to get to a place where you're judging yourself. Like, if you didn't think highly of them, if you didn't think they were cool at all, there would be no reason for you to feel bad, right? Like, you only feel bad because you have valued their esteem so highly because of what you've witnessed from them. And, it sucks us into that, comparing it to ourselves and evaluating ourselves compared to what they're good at. And we wind up like failing the test without even realizing there was going to be one. And we're beating up on ourselves in that experience of, like, that negative experience of self-comparison. Is it possible to come back to the root of appreciation that started it in the first place? Like, is it possible, instead of really going to town on beating the crap out of yourself, is it possible to flip it around and literally in the real-time moment send appreciation, either energetically, verbally, however, send appreciation to the person for them using their talents in this life? That this world is a better place because they're using their gifts and offering what they're good at to the world. And that can be cause for celebration. It doesn't necessarily have to be us beating up on ourselves. And I think the other piece that can happen is a lot of it comes from having really high standards for yourself, like just really expecting a lot of yourself. And if that's the case, with all the love in my being, I'm going to invite you to climb down off that hook, because again, I would say that the only reason you're that hard on yourself is because you truly do care on some level of making sure that your soul's mission happens. That intensity is a beacon for how much you truly care about why you came here, and wanting to be good at things, wanting to have gifts to offer to the world. And when you see valuable things, like, I think it's so normal to think like, hey, can I do that? Can I, And here's one more perspective on when you see somebody with a gift or a talent that you wish that you had, or that, especially if you envy that other person because they have it. Envy is so helpful. I personally, how I interpret envy is that is a gift that I possess, and envy is the result of not fully claiming my own possession. Instead, I'm seeing that they're possessing it. And the only reason I feel that particular frequency is because I could be having it too, and in the moment I'm not. And deep down, I know that I'm capable of having that same level of happiness and fulfillment and satisfaction. And if I would claim it, I could have it. So, like when I see somebody who I envy, who I'm like, whoa, like they're so good at what they do. Like they got it so together, they're so clear. I've really trained myself, like really practiced grabbing my hand, taking myself by the hand, and walking myself from envy to appointing this person to basically role model status in my experience for the time being, so that I can learn how to claim the essence of what they've already claimed, and they're using it so beautifully. I can learn from them how to claim it myself. Instead of envying anyone, their abilities, I can study them. I can ask them questions if I know them and they're up close to me. But main thing, like most of all, I hope that you'll tell them what you appreciate about their talents. When you're comparing yourself to someone, instead of beating up on yourself, go on a rampage of love to that other person that says, do you know what I love about you? And then fill in the blank and be as detailed as you possibly can be. And tell me you don't feel amazing at the end of that. Spotting talent is almost just as cool as having talent.